The SPFL show becomes the Singe Premiership show. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. We are here to cover all the action over the weekend, and the normal SPFL review show is kind of gone now because there's no League 2, there's no League 1, and there is no Championship. All that remains, guys, is a couple of playoff games and, of course, a few remaining Singe Premiership matches, which we will talk about later in this video, but right now I think we need to give a big shout out to Partick Thistle, who defeated Ayr United in the first leg of the semi-final of the Premiership playoff promotion chase, and I would be shocked if Partick Thistle do not see out this tie and book their spot in the final. Who are they going to be against in the final? We don't know. What we do know is, though, it is likely to be one of three teams. Those teams being Kilmarnock, Ross County and Dundee United. St Johnstone still can finish in 11th place. However, with their win this weekend against Kelly, it is looking pretty unlikely that St Johnstone will be dragged into a relegation battle.
I'm pretty sure St Johnstone are safe, no matter
Not
what.
mathematically, no.
Well, no, hold on here. They said they were mathematically safe.
Oh, well, mate, Ross County lost a late goal. How was I supposed to remember that?
Well, because you're supposed to remember, mate. It's a review show.
Alright, well, I'm sorry. Let's review it. Anyway, before we actually get into that game, big shout out to Airdrieonians who are in the Championship now. Big Airdrie. I grew up in Airdrie. I spent, unfortunately, some years in Airdrie, and it's a bit of a shithole, but when you live somewhere, it kind of becomes your shithole. And it had some decent bakeries, and, I mean, it had a Greg's, so...
Right. They still exist, mate. It's not like they got fucking bombed.
Morrison's was alright, you know, they had a nice wee breakfast part where you could go wee cafe, you could go and get a cappuccino and like a cinnamon biscuit, so I mean...
Right. I think we all know the concept of a breakfast at Morrison's.
Nice wee bacon roll with brown sauce, or if you prefer ketchup, then knock yourself out.
Right,
but
man.
Point is, there was some decent things in Airdrie. If you take away all the drugs and the Neds and the schemy, shiftless bastards, you know, Airdrie was not too bad.
A lot to take away, like, I mean, you'd be left with no one in Airdrie.
But Airdrie wasn't good enough to support them as a football club, so with that said, let's move on. We are going to cover the chronological order, right? The best team in the league won, just to kick off the weekend.
Starting on Sunday then.
Hearts, with a 2-1 victory over Aberdeen, went behind due to a barring goal for Aberdeen. He literally just got the ball in. It was poor defending, but he got the ball over the line. That's sometimes what you need to do when you're trying to score goals, just get the ball over the line. He done that, but we weren't behind for long. Josh Ginnelly with, in my opinion, goal of the season. Great goal, better than the Humphreys strike. Look, the Humphreys strike was good, but I do feel like there's always an element of hit and hope with those shots from the halfway line, whereas this Josh Ginnelly one, this was fucking top bins. This was an absolute belter of a goal. Hearts had 20 shots at half-time. Complete domination here. Definitely deserved to win. I was beginning to think it wasn't going to go their way. But Shankland with a good finish in the second half. Cochrane, first time cross in. Shankland just basically glided the ball in. You know, he directed it in with his foot. One touch.
Shankland does,
and, you know, Shankland's such a clinical goal scorer. It amazes me that people would make out that he's not good enough for the top two teams in this league. For me, he definitely is. I'm not suggesting he starts over Kyogo for Celtic, but I mean he's better than all for what we've seen for him, what we've seen for Shankland. If you wanted the ball to fall to someone, you'd be picking Shankland every day of the week.
Absolutely, and he'd definitely start up front for Rangers.
And as for Rangers, you know, they're struggling in that position, so yeah.
Although Cantwell's role, I think Cantwell's did pretty well in the number.
He has, but he's not a striker, like he's not Shankland, is he?
He's won every game. Beat Celtic, didn't it?
Has he got 23 goals for this league campaign, mate? Come back to me.
No.
And by the way, I said at the start, if you look at my Hearts season preview, I said Shankland would hit 20 goals this season.
Oh, well done.
For the first time since John Robertson, I believe 94, 90 something, right? 90s, the 90s. Point is, I know my stuff, right? I said years ago Joe Hart was pish. We're beginning to find out he's pish. I said, what else did I say?
You said you knew for ages.
I said Ange Postecoglou would win the league with Celtic after his second league match since joining the club. He'd done that. I says that John Souttar would come good at Rangers once he came back from his injury. Now all of a sudden people were fucking praising the guy to the moon. So basically when I say something that comes true, and I predict the Scotland are going to win the 2024 Euros.
I'd love it to happen. Will it happen? No.
Positive thinking. But anyway, yeah, Hearts got in front then thanks to Shankland. Devlin had a really good chance. Forrest had a good chance, but couldn't take them. And at this stage, you're thinking, crap, Aberdeen are probably going to snatch a draw. And a draw here would have ended any Hearts third place hopes. But thankfully, it didn't happen. 8-9 minutes extra time, but Aberdeen couldn't find a way back into the game. And it finished Hearts 1, Hearts 2, Aberdeen 1, thank God for that. And the best team won on the day. But I still feel like Hearts have left it a bit too late, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Can they get third place? Yes, but if we're being honest, it's probably going to require a win in Ibrox. And at the moment, that is probably the last place you'd want to go.
Yep, because Sexy overtook Celtic Park. We'll get that in a minute, but
No, I'd rather Hearts be going to Celtic Park next than Ibrox.
yeah,
We've seen Celtic struggle lately. I think in the last one win in the last 4 games, dropped 7 points at the last possible 12. Look a bit shaky. Carter Ficker's out injured. All of a sudden, this Scottish Cup,
Connor Goldson out injured.
this treble just doesn't look. Obviously, they're still massive favourites, but it doesn't look the foregone conclusion that people were making out to be.
Inverness will be licking their lips.
Well, I won't go that far, but they'll be.
That's what a certain shat myself over Haxabanafit said.
They'll be looking to pick on some scraps. Anyway, Hearts win, go within 2 points at Aberdeen. Let's move on to Celtic then. Celtic 2, St Mirren 2. St Mirren have just caused Celtic problems in every game they've played them this season.
St Mirren should have won.
Now, a certain fat specky bastard says that St Mirren have only caused them problems in 2 games, but that's actually not true. Every time St Mirren have played Celtic this season, St Mirren have been in the game, and they've either been taken out the game by dodgy penalty decisions or red cards.
Yep.
I mean, I know the last time they played, I think Celtic ended up winning 5-1, but St Mirren were ahead in that game.
I don't see this logic though. If it's not a problem if you don't win, or no, if you do win, they still. It's not a problem even if you win.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. St Mirren, in fair play to Stephen Robinson, they have gave Celtic a match in every game they've played them this season.
Yeah.
And I felt like when Ryan Wilmot said that, it was a dig at Rangers, because he was trying to suggest that St Mirren have caused Celtic more problems than Rangers have.
Probably.
In games this season. But, I mean, if we're being honest, St Mirren, like I said, every single time they've played Celtic this season, they've caused them problems. So, fair play to them, caused them problems again today. Curtis Main, on another day, probably could have had like a hat-trick at least, maybe 4 goals. Just didn't really take his chances. And, without Carter Vickers, Celtic definitely look a different team.
No, they do. They do not look comfortable at the back. And without him, they're getting more shots on goal. What's that mean? Joe Hart has to deal with more shots.
Now,
and he can't deal with it, man.
I thought the second Curtis Main goal, I think Joe Hart should do a lot better. The first one, though, is borderline unforgivable.
No pace on it. There's
no pace on it. The ball it's right underneath him. It's like, it's not like it's out of reach. It's like, there's just no reason why he didn't make this save.
Huh?
There is fucking zero reason why he didn't make this save. It was a horrible goal to concede. Like, I want to give Curtis Main a bit of credit here, but I mean, he shouldn't be scoring for this.
He could have had about 5.
He shouldn't be scoring for this angle.
No.
Joe Hart's got this covered. It's not like he's put it in the corner. He's more or less hit the ball kind of straight at. It is. He's hit the ball in a perfect position for Joe Hart to get down and make a comfortable save.
And this is the best we've got to offer in this league.
I don't think he could have hit the ball in a better position for Joe Hart to save it. It was like within arm's length. He didn't even need to stretch. All he had to do was get down.
No, because Joe Hart's pissed.
Yeah, it goes under his hand.
Look at the Suter header against Rangers.
Yeah.
He didn't even move. He didn't even know where it went.
Celtic get back level with the Japanese duo. Hatate to Kyogo. Kyogo proving why he is...
Not just happens now.
No, not just happens. Good finish for Kyogo, blasted it in. For me, definitely, I'd say the best striker in the league. I don't think it can be disputed. Like, although some people would claim Giamakis was better, but those people probably
shite themselves over Haxabanafit.
Aye, Haxabanafit is an overrated bastard. Let's just put it out there.
Yep,
Haxabanafit.
It's out there. It's been dealt.
Strain got the header in just before the second half, I believe. Yep.
Do what make it 2-1?
Aye. Or was it the beginning of the second half?
Was it Curtis Main double?
I know it was.
You said Strain.
Oh, I meant Main.
No, it was in the second half.
It started the second half.
Aye.
The header, why Joe Hart didn't react to
It was
this?
flicked down Phil Hara.
No pace on it.
He hit it in.
No pace on it. It wasn't put in the corner. I mean, the ball was... It just went right across Joe Hart and he didn't even... I don't know if someone was holding Joe Hart's kids at ransom here. And they says to him, you need to let at least 2 goals in for St Mirren.
Even the chance where Main skins him, he beats Joe Hart and he hits the bar. I think he should have done better with that one, but anyway, it's a goal for Joe. And Celtic fans have turned.
Yeah,
they've completely turned.
I didn't talk us through the Cal McGregor goal because that's the only one I didn't see.
That's the only one I didn't see because the live stream fucking died. But that guy uploading it on YouTube, man, what was he doing?
Anyway, Cal McGregor got the equaliser, and people will say Cal McGregor's saving this Celtic team. He's pulling them through it. But what did he do in the Old Firm game? Because apparently that's the only games that matter. Because Tillman's not allowed.
No,
wait. Tillman's not allowed to win Young Player of the Year because he didn't perform in the Old Firm game. Well, if that's the case, then Cal McGregor's pissed because he certainly didn't perform in the last one.
Exactly. No, but even in this game, he's giving the ball away. Very cheap on the ball and not strong enough.
Yeah, I do think he's overrated. He's a good player. Like, I'm not going to take it away from him. I mean, I like Cal McGregor. He's definitely...
Do it for Scotland, don't do it for Celtic, big man.
He's definitely a good international level, but he's just not... He's not top tier, in my opinion.
See if he was, he's
not
get a move away, man. That's how it works.
Someone did call in Super Scoreboard Live last week, and they say that they think Cal McGregor's the most overrated footballer in Scotland. Funnily enough, they were a Rangers fan, but I think that's just a coincidence.
No, right. But see Cal McGregor and Brown.
Let me finish my point here.
No, but I'll even go in with, like, Tavernier. See if they were really, like, that good. Would offers not be fucking coming
Well, that was the point. This guy says he's never once heard of a big club in England, or even a club in England, like a Premier League club, come in and put in a bid for Cal McGregor.
Do you think it's a case, though, that they know they won't move, so there's no point bidding? Or do you
What do you mean they wouldn't move?
Well, they think, they're the captain. They might not go.
So you think Cal McGregor would take a big...
No, I don't see why he wouldn't. What else can he do with Celtic?
So that's your point at the window, then? You're arguing against your own point?
Yeah, I'm saying from a logic standpoint, but maybe he's a Celtic man, though.
I don't see that.
Do you think he'd go?
Well, fucking Arsenal thought Kieran Tierney would go, and he's a big Celtic man. He loves Celtic, but Arsenal thought Kieran...
Aye, but what's the difference? Tierney's different gravy.
Exactly, that's my point.
These guys are pish.
But you're trying to suggest that the reason you don't think clubs come in for Cal McGregor is because they think he's...
And to be fair with Tav, I know I mentioned Tav, but like Tav already had his time. Like at Newcastle. He's been linked with going back to like Newcastle though.
Look, I'm telling you, I think if Cal McGregor was that good, then why wouldn't you get clubs at maybe like a Brighton level? Everton level?
I don't think he is good enough for a Brighton level.
No, but my point is, why are clubs like that? I'm not even saying like top 6 clubs, I'm on about...
Brighton are more or less a top 6 club now.
Yeah, but alright, then lower than that, Jesus Christ, like, Nottingham Forest then.
Is that shite, that's why?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fucking Chris Wood up front.
Crystal Palace then.
Alex, aye.
Him and Aribo. Yeah.
Him and Aribo. Aribo plays for fucking Southampton.
So he does, aye. So he does. Anyway, let's move on here.
Aye, right. Kelly 0. St Johnstone 1. St Johnston's safe.
I didn't see this coming.
No.
I thought Kelly had this one wrapped up. However, they did get a man sent off. I believe it was Darren Watson.
You know what? They had a load of... Yeah, I think it was. But they had a load of chances in this game outside the boot shot that hit skimmed the post. Chances, guys. Chances. Load of chances for Kilmarnock. Aye, but you know what? You always talk about their home record. Well, it fucking didn't go well for the day, did it?
I'll hold my hands up. I predicted Kelly getting the top 6. I also predicted Dundee United getting the top 6.
You know what?
2 massive fucking fails in my
last season I didn't get one prediction right. I'm fucking willing to bet I haven't got any right this year. Actually, I think I predicted Ross County to finish 12th.
I think you predicted Dundee United 3rd.
I did?
I think you did, aye.
Fucking hell, what?
Although I think I predicted the 4th.
You know what? Actually, I might go fucking check.
I wasn't a million miles away. I think I said Dundee United 4th.
Did you?
Aye.
Damn.
Well, see when they beat Altman, like, it was looking no bad. But
see, that's why it's hard. Who the fuck would have predicted Dundee United last?
Yeah.
I know they might. Well, they are finishing last. They might get.
Anyway, St Johnstone win, and that pretty much saves them from any sort of relegation threat this season. Will Stephen McLean get the job? I've heard people say that he's done enough. I mean, has he really? He's come in, he's managed to get them over the line, but I wouldn't be impressed with Stephen McLean. We'll see what happens, though. St Johnstone seem to have a record of giving managers the job from within the club. That happened to Callum Davison. I'm pretty sure it happened with the manager before that. Not Tommy Wright, but the guy before that. So
who was that?
I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure they have a history of just giving players the manager role. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I personally don't think McLean's done enough, but with St Johnstone's level, their budget, they might be happy to take a chance on him. Moving into the next game, it was Livingston 2 at the Tony Macaroni. Dundee United 1. Now, big shout out to Footy Avengers. He was at this game.
He was on Sky Sports as well.
We know that Big Stevie Cool 1872 is a massive Footy Adventures fan, wants to collab with him in the future. So,
I don't mind the guy. See, to be honest, we do a lot of burying him, saying he focuses a lot on going after the kids at games, which is just a bit of banter. But see, he does produce good content.
He does,
even if he does he genuinely care about the growth of Scottish football, the growth of his fucking bank account? I think that's up for debate. But you know what? He's better than the likes of Fogden, so I'll accept it.
I can't stand Fogden. Anyway, Livy win 2-1. Dundee United did fall behind. They got back on level terms, but Livy sealed the deal with a 2-1 victory. And I think Livy needed this, and I know they can't get relegated. I know they were safe, but it doesn't mean you want to lose like your last 6, 7, 8 games. And they were on a bad losing streak, so I think maybe not Livy needed this, but I think David Martindale needed this.
Yeah. They did, and they got it. Beach gets sent off for talking to the referee. And you know what? Biggeretti costing Dundee United like he always does.
Aye, so there you go. Livy with the 3 points in that one. And then Motherwell taking on Ross County. It's not a surprising result, although I did think Ross County could have snatched a draw in this game. It wasn't to be, though. Kevin Van Veen, I believe, scored for the 9th consecutive game in a row.
Yep.
With a late penalty. What was your thoughts on the penalty? Now, I know Malcolm Mackay wasn't happy because I think Ross County had the ball in the back of the net and then it was overruled. Or they had a penalty and it was overruled, and then...
Is that not like the second game in a row they've had a penalty in like the 99th minute?
I guess the new saying is penalty to Motherwell.
Could be.
Kevin Van Veen scored it. We haven't really heard any news on the Van Veen transfer value or the fan transfer status at the moment, but... What's your thoughts on Van Veen? Do you think he'll definitely be away, or could he line up in a Motherwell shirt next season?
He seems to have a connection with the fans.
He seems to like Motherwell. He says he won't leave unless it's a good deal for Motherwell.
A good deal for Motherwell? What's a good deal for Motherwell?
Fucking bottle iron brew and a couple of penny chews, I think, would be a good deal for Motherwell. So we'll see what happens with Kevin Van Veen. But yeah, Motherwell got that win. So nothing really changed. The only thing that changed at the bottom was the outside shot of St Johnstone going down. That's officially over. And nothing changes between the bottom 3 teams. Although what you could say is, I'd say the one thing that does change is Dundee United have one less game now to try and claw themselves out of the bottom 3.
Yeah, and you know what? Be interesting on Wednesday night when they take on Killie. I wish the games were at different times. They're all on at the same time.
Yeah, but before we talk about
and
that...
the fucking 4G, the 4G at Ibrox is fucking pish. You actually can't tell.
Hold on, were you planning on being in Ibrox but fucking live streaming the Killie game?
No, but my point, you can't check the scores.
Fair enough.
I haven't planned on connecting to the Wi-Fi because Rangers would probably fucking set you up for a subscription of 50 grand or something. So 4G it is.
Right, last but not least, Hibernian lost Easter Road today by 3-1. I've already buried Lee Johnson enough in our match review today, so I'm not going to spend too long doing that again. But I thought Rangers were the better team. Won comfortably. Probably gifted Hibernian that late goal. Robbie McCrory could have had 5 clean sheets in a row, but nah, they gave them.
Cantwell makes it 3 in a row. Rangers make it 3 in a row. And, yeah, a good win for Rangers. If push comes to shove, though, and this is a crunch game, like in that hurdle they concede, that's a problem with their season, because you've just conceded these cheap set-piece goals, which have been a major flaw.
Yeah, let's look at the league table though. Let's move into that. So we can see Celtic with 2 games to go. Obviously they are the champs, they cannot be caught. But what I do find interesting is, had Rangers won the second last Old Firm game there, it would have been a 2-point gap. And that, to me, would have made things very, very interesting going into these last couple of games, especially with Celtic's current form. Now, who's to say Celtic wouldn't have picked up had they lost that game to Rangers? But I think that just goes to show you that Rangers did have an outside shot when the gap was 9 points.
No, of course they did. It just didn't really work out for them. But you know what? They'll just say they were on the beach. But I think we're beginning to see Celtic. I think a few cracks are. I'm not saying it's major, right? But I just don't. I think they're not as good as what they're made out to be. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, I don't either. Like, I mean, they scored a shitload of goals. Like, can't really. I mean, they've been the best team this season.
No, of course they're the best team, but I mean, you see if you look at it, right? You look at like games won, drawn, lost. Yeah, they're obviously right. They're doing better than Rangers, but it's not a drastic.
Yeah,
well, Rangers have lost this league as the old firms
in the Geo era.
Yeah, well, that's it.
But people would make it as if it's a massive fucking gap.
Yeah,
I don't think it is.
No, I mean, the Cups, obviously, they've knocked them out of both Cups, but you look at all the games under Beale, the games have been close, just Rangers' stupid mistakes. Next season shall be interesting. Let's see how the first Old Firm goes. But as for this league table, it doesn't really matter about the top two. It's all about the rest. So,
Aberdeen, 54 points, haven't won a game since the split. Thoughts on that?
Interesting. They take on St Mirren at home next, which will be tough. Hibernian, they take on Celtic. I'm expecting a big... Think Celtic will beat Hibernian at Easter Road, though?
Hi.
Hibs are pish. St Mirren realistically could have done with that one.
They could have, but what that tells me is St Mirren will now, if they want any chance of European football next season, they will need to beat Aberdeen in the next game.
Yeah, and they very easily could. But then they're at home to Rangers. But then Hibs are pish, so I think a win against Aberdeen would pretty much...
And I tell you what, I think St Mirren could do it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they do it, obviously, from a Hearts perspective, but I don't know. I think if that game happened like a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I'd been thinking, Aberdeen, comfortable win.
Do you think Hearts are going to finish third?
It depends. Depends what Celtic turn up on the final day against Aberdeen. I think Hearts
have a history of lying down to Aberdeen on the final day.
Yeah,
so
especially when it fucks Rangers at the second. I think Hearts will beat Hibs, but I don't know if that'll be enough. They might have to beat Rangers as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Aberdeen win their last two games, it's done and dusted. Like, nothing doesn't matter what Hearts do. If Aberdeen win their next game at home against St Mirren, which is a winnable game, then it would require Hearts to beat Rangers to keep third place alive. It's going to be close. I just feel like Hearts have left it a little bit too late. They win today. Like, they needed to win today, 100%. If they didn't win today, then it was fucked. You could argue Hearts lost it last week, though. Had Hearts won last week against St Mirren, they'd have been in front of Aberdeen on goal difference. So
that's what's crucial, though, the goal difference. So 2 draws might even be enough for Hearts. But
if Aberdeen lose, if Aberdeen win one and lose one, Hearts would only need one win.
What Hearts want, what you want, is to take it into the final day.
Which is very possible. I mean, if Aberdeen drew against them, if they draw against St Mirren, which could happen, even if Hearts lose to Rangers, going into the final day, if Hearts can beat Hibernian in the derby and Celtic beat Aberdeen, Hearts would finish third.
Yeah, and there's no guarantee.
So it's very possible, but I think what needs to happen, I think for Hearts to get third, they need St Mirren to get something off Aberdeen.
No, absolutely.
If Aberdeen beat St Mirren and Hearts need to win both their games, and I just don't
struggling.
I don't see them beating Rangers at the moment.
See, as for 7th, 8th and 9th, there's just nothing happening there.
What I would say, I think the reason St Mirren have got motivation is because I believe one win against Aberdeen will get St Mirren 5th place.
Well, to be fair, St Johnstone could still finish in the playoff. It's just incredibly unlikely. Oh, actually, no, Kelly and Ross County play each other, don't they?
I don't know.
Because they do, obviously they can't. St Johnstone are safe, folks, are safe. It's a safe. But I think the mighty Dundee United are done.
No, wait, Kelly don't. Kelly play,
Dundee United.
Aye, and then they play somebody else. I don't think... Anyway, let's have a quick check here. Let's see what the fixtures look like then heading into May. So, obviously, you've got...
We're in May.
Alright, we're heading into the latter stages of May. We've got Aberdeen, St Mirren, Dundee United, Kilmarnock, Hibernian, Celtic, Livy, Motherwell, Rangers, Hearts, and Ross County, St Johnstone. What do you think the league table will look like after those 6 fixtures? Obviously, a Kilmarnock win. Pretty much, I'd say a Kilmarnock win relegates Dundee United because I think Ross County will beat St Johnstone.
Yeah.
Now, if we look at the league table, if Ross County beats St Johnstone and Dundee United even draw with Kilmarnock, Dundee United can no longer catch Ross County. And they've got better goal difference than Kelly though, so
Keeps them alive, I guess.
But I think Dundee United will need to win that game.
No, they will.
If they don't win that game, then there's a very good chance they will be relegated.
There's a very good chance even though in that game it's still looking pretty pish.
No, I agree.
But they're away to Motherwell last game of the season.
Quickly give your predictions here. Let's go. I'm going to go draw an Aberdeen game. I'm going to go Dundee United to beat Kelly. Celtic to beat Hibernian. I'm going to go with Motherwell to beat Livy. I'm going to go with Rangers to beat Hearts. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I'm going to go with. And I'm going to go with Ross County beat St Johnstone. That's fine.
I am going to go with 1-1 in the opener. I'm going to go 1-0 Kelly. Going to go 1 each. Hibernian and Celtic. Livingston Motherwell. I'm going to go 3-0 Motherwell. Rangers Hearts. I'm going to go 4-2 Rangers. Ross County St Johnstone. I'm going to go for 1-0 Ross County.
So what you're saying is Dundee United are relegated on the 24th of May? You're picking Kelly and Ross County?
Yep.
Which relegates Dundee United?
Yeah.
And probably does Jim Goodwin out a job for the second time this season?
Yep, that's what.
And he has to walk across another pitch with his wee bag. You're a sick man.
Well, you know what, mate? At least I don't pick shit teams.
Yeah. And the final fixtures... Oh, Kelly do play Ross County, yeah. So.
It's not even...
Oh, Dundee United's last game's against Motherwell?
I just fucking said that, mate. Where you been?
Oh, fuck me.
Edinburgh Derby last game of the season.
I know. I think Dundee United's done.
Do you, aye?
Do you not?
Why? I think they're done, yeah. Because even if they beat...
The only thing Dundee United have got is it's in their own hands. If Dundee United win their last 2 games, they will stay up.
Yeah,
That is guaranteed.
No matter what.
Yeah, because they play Kilmarnock. And then Kilmarnock and Ross County both can't win.
Exactly.
So if Dundee United win both their last games, they stay up.
I hope they take it to the last day for the sake of the last day, because there could be nothing going on.
Now, if Dundee United draw with Kelly, I think Dundee United need to win. They need to win. Ross County's goal difference is superior.
But see, it would just be better though if it was like Ross County or Kilmarnock in the 12th battle. I know it could still end up that way, but those two playing each other would be mad.
Yeah, that's pretty much it then, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. That's it for the review. 27 minutes in. Can't be off dragging it to half an hour. We'll catch you next week. This guy will be at the Rangers game midweek, so who knows? Maybe you'll get some live Ibrox content on the channel. You never know. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, been Fog Football. Peace.